But this week, A Quiet Place is here. So let's get it.
Welcome to the Kaiba Show.
Okay, so this movie is starring Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, Noah Jupe, and Millicent Simmons, and is directed by John Krasinski also. And basically the premise of this movie, we're under the assumption that this is a post-apocalyptic world where we have a family that's forced to live their day-to-day lives in silence because there's these creatures that hunt by sound. So they have to talk amongst each other, communicate amongst each other through sign language, body language, facial expressions, anything that they could do without creating a sound to get their message across amongst one another. And let me just start by saying this. We're just going to jump right into it. This movie was out of this world amazing. I loved everything about this movie. When I originally saw the trailer, I didn't really have too much faith in this movie. I thought it was going to be okay, but this movie was really good. It almost reminded me of the classic movies from the early 1900s where there was no dialogue. All you had was the subtitles at the bottom of the screen with some music sometimes in some of these movies, and you just had to follow that way. And even though there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue in this movie and you had to watch the sign language that they were communicating amongst each other and they had the subtitles at the bottom, I still was able to follow along and enjoy this movie just as much as I would if they were actually talking the entire time. So it didn't take nothing away from this movie. The suspense, the intense scenes in this movie will basically have you at the edge of your seat. And that was the amazing part about this movie, that for this type of horror suspense thriller movie, John Krasinski did a really, really good job. All the actors did a good job with showing the emotions through their bodies and their faces in the intense scenes. In the moment, you just felt like you was there with them and you just didn't know how you were going to cope with this intensity. And it was just amazing on how they were able to capture this and give it to us. So I highly recommend this movie. There's nothing really negative I could say about this movie except for I felt like the creatures kind of reminded me of another creature from another show, which I'm not going to say so it doesn't give anything away. But I just felt like it didn't come off as that original as I probably would have liked. But other than that, this movie was definitely on point and I highly recommend it. So overall, people, on the Kaiba scale of 1 to 10, I think I'm going to give this movie a solid 8.5. Like I mentioned before, I didn't really go in here with really, really crazy high expectations, but I felt like what John Krasinski brought to the table, all the actors in this movie, the story was pretty good. There was a good message behind this movie. Hopefully, if you guys go see it, you'll get the message that I got from the movie, and hopefully you guys get the same thing. I highly recommend this movie, and then when it comes out on Blu-ray, I definitely think it's worth the buy. So if you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe to the channel, hit the bell button once you're done doing that so that you get notified every time I upload a video, and please hit the like button and leave a comment at the bottom.